Once again took center stage. Ever since 2008, many of us were forced to take a closer look at our finances. There's still a lot we don't know about our hard-earned money, like where to put it, for example. Our first guest says you could save thousands of dollars in fees simply by putting your money in a credit union versus a bank. Please welcome David Bleazard, President and CEO of First Service Credit Union, to tell us more.
Good morning, Deborah. How are you?
Good. Let me start off with, a lot of us really don't understand what a credit union is compared to a bank. We think maybe a credit union is where you go to get some credit, and that's about it.
Well, I think that's one of the things that you can do. But a credit union and a bank are really different in that a credit union is established and owned by its members. It's a cooperative. It's a not-for-profit entity, and that's really different than a for-profit bank. So our interest really is our members that own it.
Yeah, and when you have members that own it, I would imagine, you know, as we say, you have some skin in the game. So
right.
the level of responsibility might be a little different too.
Absolutely, and you know, the board of directors of our credit union is made up of members who volunteer their time to donate it to the credit union so that they can help run their own institution.
Yeah, we know that certainly banks are huge these days, and a lot of people will complain about not having that personal moment when you go to the bank and not having your banker that you go to. Service is key with the credit union.
Well, that's what we're all about. In fact, we have a slogan: not for profit, not for charity, but for service. And that's all we're here for, is to serve our members who own it.
Okay, let's talk about some other benefits of a credit union. Great interest rates.
Oh, yes. I mean, typically, you're going to pay less in interest on a loan, you're going to get more in interest in your savings accounts, and you're going to pay way less fees.
Yeah, and can you establish those personal relationships? Like when I walk in to see Ethel, and Ethel's going to be there?
Right, and she's going to know your name, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she's going to remember you and going to remember everything about you, and probably your children and your grandchildren, too.
Yeah, that's awesome. But that's the cool thing about, you know, when you go into, whether you're asking for a loan or whatever, is that sometimes it's based on a feeling about that person you know. You know, not just the financials on the paper there.
Oh yeah, look, giving credit is an art. It's not an empirical science, right? So it's about knowing the person and what they're up against and what they're struggling with and what their family situation is. And we take those into consideration every day when we make loans.
All right, we're going to go through some myths versus some fact. One of those myths is I have to be in a company or the military or perhaps a union of some sort to join a credit union.
Well, I think for a long time that was very true, but I think that most credit unions across the country, and certainly with First Service Credit Union, if you live, work, worship, attend school, or any of your family members do in Houston or Waller counties, or Harris or Waller County, you're eligible to join.
Okay.
So that's true of a lot of credit unions.
Yeah, yeah. All right, next myth is it's not convenient.
Oh, boy, you know, that's one of the greatest, best-kept secrets. Credit unions have a shared branch network that gives you access to 4,900 branches nationwide to conduct your business. So even though you may be a member of First Service Credit Union here in Houston, and we have 14 Houston area locations, there's 4,900 other locations throughout the country where you can do your business.
Yeah, and of course we know with electronic banking now, there's so many things that you can do from the phone now that you don't have to do actually in the office anymore if you don't need to.
Yeah, absolutely. We have home banking that over the internet, over your smartphone, your iPad, as well as over the telephone. And of course, we always have wonderful people on the phone who actually answer the phone and talk to you like a human being.
Like, you know, a lot of us remember the days where like your parents would rush on a Friday, gotta get to the bank before 6 or before 3 because they're gonna close and we need cash for the weekend, right?
Right.
Not anymore.
No.
Okay, the other myth is my money is not insured like it would be in a bank.
That's absolutely false. Credit unions are insured by the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund, which is backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, just like a bank is with the FDIC. And your accounts are insured up to $250,000 on any individual savings account that you have with the credit union.
All right.
So
let's go to some of our audience members because I think they have some questions for you. And let's start with our first one here. Hello there, Lori.
Hi, good morning. Do you have to be a member of the credit union to obtain a loan?
In fact, you do. But as I mentioned a minute ago, if you go online to fsu.com, you can join in about 5 minutes. And a lot of people get their very first loan from a credit union. In fact, I got my first loan for my car to go to college in from my local credit union.
Huh. And of course the loans are cars, homes, whatever you would normally get a loan for.
Any kind of consumer lending product we have.
Okay, let's go to Katrina. Hi.
Hi, you answered my initial question saying that you are insured up to $250,000, but you said savings. Do you have checking vehicles and money market vehicles that would be insured as well, or just your savings accounts within the credit union?
All accounts in which you have a deposit at a credit union are insured. And depending on how you structure those savings accounts, it can be insured for far more than $250,000. But we have certificates of deposit, we have money market accounts, health savings accounts, all kinds of checking accounts.
I look forward to the day I can walk in and go, I'm at 249, so we're just, you know, just letting you know. Okay.
Don't we all, right?
Yeah, right. All right, Dorothy. Hi, Dorothy.
Good morning, Deborah and David. It's nice to see you this morning.
Thank you.
My question relates to what you said about interest rates. Are they better at a credit union, and can you give us an example?
Absolutely. That's an excellent question. Because credit unions occupy a special place in the corporate culture of America, we're not a charity, we're not a for-profit institution, we fall under the not-for-profit cooperative segment of corporate America. That means that we don't pay corporate income tax. As a result, we typically can offer much better rates on savings accounts and much better rates on loans. And that's really what we're known for.
All right, and finally, Amy.
Yes, when it comes to our money, we want to make sure it's safe. And I was just curious, were the credit unions involved in the financial mess that the other banks were several years ago?
You know, that's a wonderful question, and no, we were not. In fact, I was recently in Washington, D.C. meeting with our lawmakers, and credit unions really are the individuals that wear the white hat. We weren't caught up in any of the mess with the recent financial troubles that plagued many of our large banking institutions in this country. And our share insurance fund is much healthier than the FDIC's insurance fund, but they're both backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, and so we know the government's going to stand behind it. But credit unions are safe and sound and a great place to put your money.
And again, that goes back to just kind of who your members are. You are members that have a stake in what's going to happen.
Well, you know what's interesting is because we know whose money it is, you know, I'm not going to take Jane's money and lend it to Bob if Bob's not a good risk. Because I know where the money came from. We all pool our money together to benefit each other.
All right. Well, thank you so much for clarifying all that for us. First Service Credit Union has a special offer for Great Day viewers. If you go online and open an account within the next 24 hours, you'll receive a $25 MasterCard gift card. You're giving away money, right?
That's right.
Find them online at fscu.com, fscu.com. You can also call them. There are the numbers on your screen, 713-676-7777, 713-676-7777, or 800-678-5197, 800-678-5197. Take that money out from your mattress right now. All right.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of saving money, we'll tell you where you can shop till you drop and get designer labels for less.
iMasters is now VisionWorks. During our unlimited BOGO sale, buy one complete